Welcome to Satsunami. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Satsunami. I'm Satsunami and joining me today in what quite possibly could be a first, at least at the time of recording this episode, for Streamer Spotlight, I'm joined tonight by a fellow Scottish streamer called Kittykatyfaith. So Katie, welcome to Satsunami.
Hello. And thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for coming on. It's much appreciated.
I'm super excited and super nervous at the same time. I'm like, oh no, I'm probably going to make a fanny of myself or something.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're amongst friends here. Don't worry. I do it on a regular basis when I do Satsunami, so don't worry. So yeah, how are you doing today?
Yeah, not too bad. Been pretty chilled out and saw a friend that I haven't seen in a while because of COVID and things. So been pretty nice. How about you?
Yeah, not too bad. I would say enjoying the nice weather, but that's kind of like an oxymoron in Scotland, you know?
Yeah, that's totally changed. Like the sun's gone.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
winter now.
It was a couple of weeks ago over here we had what was it, like blistering sun and, you know, it was not, well, I'm not made for the sun. Like, I just look outside and I think, good Lord, what is that in the sky?
I'm exactly the same. I'm like, looking at it, you're sweating.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's like a standoff.
What is that thing in the sky?
Yeah, that big ball of light is like, oh, I don't know. I don't want to know. Close the curtains. Just go away. Like, honestly, I always, like, you know, we've got a term here called, like, the taps off weather.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, where, for anybody outside of Scotland who doesn't know, it's when, usually it's older gentlemen, well, not gentlemen, older men, usually just take their, tops off in hot weather, and that's how you know, like, it's in Scottish standards. Hot. Yeah, it's hot. Yeah. And they just, like, walk around, and it's like, why are you doing this to yourself, you know? Yeah.
It's always the old men as well. It's, like, so weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like no matter where you go in the country, you'll always find one person like that. Like, whether it's the West Coast, East Coast, North, South, you're always going to get one. And
they've always got that big belly.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a bloody compass going towards, like, the ice cream van, isn't it? Or something. It's like you turn around and you're like, oh my God, it's that time. Like a bloody sundial. But anyway. Yeah, enough about tabs out. Sorry, that was a long way to say, yeah, I'm doing okay. More or less. Beyond the editing, beyond it is dry today, but yeah, other than that, no, not too bad.
Good to hear.
Yes, but apologies for that massive segue.
I think it happens to a lot of us Scots. So we start talking about something, and then before you know it, you've gone on to something else, and then something else, and then you've forgotten what you already started with.
Yeah. See, I honestly wish I could say, like, oh no, maybe, I know how to, like, rein myself in when it comes to that, but I'm thinking of so many times where I've been on stream playing a game, and somebody asks about something, and I'll start a story, then I'll get distracted, then I'll start talking about someone else, or something else rather, then I'll start talking about this or that, then I start thinking, oh yeah, I haven't finished that story. I return to that story, and then something else happens, and then I probably just make, like, a very, like, Scottish-centric joke that nobody's going to get. And everyone goes, I have got no idea what you're talking about. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? Neither have I.
Yeah.
I have completely...
I don't even know what I'm on about anymore, like...
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, all I can say is it makes good content, like, in hindsight, but for anyone who, like, wants to hear the end of the story, you kind of think, not the best.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
But yeah, like, going into the topic of course, today's discussion, well, I say discussion, more general chit-chat, really, because that's what this is usually. It begins as a structured, discussion, and it just ends in a chat, which is great. But Yeah, so I was actually thinking this. This is something I usually ask most of the streamers that I like get on Satsunami. I'm actually trying to remember. So, like, you and I both met like on Twitch. Like,
Yeah,
do you remember what
but
stream it
how?
was? Yeah, that's the thing. It's like Memento. I'm trying to piece it
Oh,
together.
I've been thinking that as well. Like, I'm not even joking. I've been
Oh,
thinking, and I'm like, how did I actually meet him? Did I, like, I feel like someone raided you that I know of. I was
yeah.
watching someone stream and they raided you, but who it was, I cannot tell you.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can't even think, or I feel like there's a raid in there somewhere,
Yeah. It
if you
must.
know what I mean.
There must be some. Well, to the mystery man and or woman who raided me that day,
Thank you.
thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. Because honestly, like, I feel as if that's how I seem to get to know a lot of like other streamers, either through
Yeah.
raiding or just like stumbling across their channels or things.
Yeah, because
Because
like I can.
oh no, sorry,
Sorry,
no, no,
I
go
was
on,
just
sorry.
gonna say I can. I think I can even remember like the person, whoever it was. I'm sorry that I've forgotten whoever you are, but they even said, "Oh, Katie, here's a fellow Scot for you" or something. I
Ah.
can clearly remember that, but I'm just so bad. I can't even remember who it was, and I feel so bad.
Is this where we like put out a tweet saying we're looking for the person who raided me that day? I have no idea what game it was, but you know what? If you remember,
Thank you.
I know it's like, if you remember, please email chatsunami@gmail.com. It's not been too bad ever since, though, I have to admit.
No, it's been good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that that happened because your streams are really great and you're a great crack and
Oh, thank
always
you.
have a good laugh and stuff. Yeah.
I mean, same to you as well. Like, every time I go
Thank
into
you.
one of your streams, it's always quite chill and, well, except for, like, horror games, because I know they're, like, yeah, I feel as if that's the exception for any chill streamer. It's like, that 90% is chill streams, and that 10% is just horror games.
Yeah, like I was saying today, I keep trying to go away from horror games, but I keep being drawn back, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's annoying, but like it's not that I'm not enjoying it. I just feel like I might not be like I'd like to call myself a variety streamer,
Yeah.
and I like to give variety. So
Yeah.
like I feel a bit bad that I'm just like sticking to horror at the moment because I don't want people to get fed up of seeing the same stuff, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's like I kind of like branched off a little bit to sci-fi horror at the moment.
I
Um,
mean, it's a good choice. It's a
yeah.
good genre to jump into, right enough. I'm in a similar boat, not so much with horror games because I'm a massive wimp. Although one of my favourite streams I did, like, I think it was Outlast, it was a good while ago anyway.
Oh my
And
goodness.
although it's like one of my favourite streams I've ever done, I was terrified throughout. And like, honestly, like, some of the screams in that are like 100% genuine. Like,
I still have to see that because oh
oh.
my goodness, when I played it myself and oh my goodness, so many times I got such a scare like because you got to be so quiet. Like, well, I'm always like so tr quiet, like trying to worry if something's about to happen or that. You know, like when you try and like second guess at what's going to happen next,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And then you're like so concentrated, and then you just like totally like crap yourself.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Because that's the thing though, like I don't know about you, but when I get like really scared in a horror game, I get very talkative.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll be like, "Oh, look at this! Oh, but like that is one of the catchphrases I think of that stream. Where every time I saw a battery, I would go, "Ooh, battery!" and I grab it and everything. And I was kind of half joking and half thinking, if I make jokes and I kind of laugh
Yeah.
along, maybe they'll laugh along and they won't kill me. And I was
Yeah.
like, this is terrifying. That it was absolutely terrifying. Like I'm
I
glad I.
totally agree.
Oh,
That happens to me.
I mean, it is good when you get to the end of a horror game, though, isn't it? And
Yeah.
you're just
You
like, yeah,
feel like you've accomplished something in life.
yeah. I
You've
never,
conquered your fears.
yeah. It's like, I never have to play this game again. And then it's like, oh, why don't you play Outlast 2? And it's like, yeah, why don't you get banned from the chat? No, I'm joking.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie, but I actually started Outlast 2,
oh God.
and
Is it
it
as
wasn't
bad?
actually as bad.
Huh.
I'd actually say it wasn't as scary,
Hmm.
but it was kind of like, like in Heavy Rain
Hmm.
when you have to do that action that never works.
Oh, yes, I'm familiar. I'm very familiar with that action.
It was a bit like that, and it was always at the points where you needed that to happen, and you're like, oh
Ah,
my
yeah.
God. Because there was at one point, I think I'd done it like 3 times
Hmm.
before I actually gave up because I just kept getting killed. And I
Yeah.
was like, I can't do this because it put me so back so far.
Hmm.
I was like, I'm not doing that all again just to be killed again. So I haven't touched it
Hmm.
since. And I'm not normally like that, but
Hmm.
I don't know. I just felt like my heart wasn't in it. Like,
Yeah.
it was
Hmm.
good, but it wasn't as good as the first one, if you know what I mean.
Oh no, absolutely. I mean, the first, like the aesthetic for the first one was really cool. Well, I was about to say haunted asylum, but it was pretty occupied for a haunted asylum. I mean,
Yeah,
it was haunting, but not haunted. Well,
yeah,
actually, no, the basement was haunted, and only people who play Outlast probably got that. But
hmm, yeah, that's
um,
true.
but like, yeah, I really liked the kind of, as gory as it was. I did like the kind of layout and the map and things like that. But the second
Yeah,
one, it just seemed like, oh, you're in the middle of like
yeah,
this town and everything. And well, I'm being very generous calling it a town, but you know what I mean. Shack's in the
yeah,
middle of nowhere. That
yeah. It
just
was
had,
weird.
yeah, it was a strange one, and I know technically they've been saying for ages that they're bringing out a third one, but it's like
Yes,
a multiplayer one, isn't it?
yeah, I had heard that, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, ooh. But at the same time, because of like the second one, I'm a bit like,
Mm-hmm.
if you get me, because
Yeah,
sometimes I feel like with some games, if they're like done too much, I feel like they lose the
yeah.
amazingness, if that makes sense.
Oh no,
It's
I
probably
get
not
you.
the
Yeah.
best word, but like I know probably a lot of people are probably gonna hate me right now. The Last of Us 1 was really great in my eyes. I absolutely loved it. 2 was good. It was really good,
Mm-hmm.
but in my eyes, it wasn't as good as 1.
Yeah.
Like it was good in its own way, but like
Mm-hmm.
I kind of feel like it lost a little bit
Yeah,
in
like
I
the
can't even think of the word. I was gonna say transaction, but that's not even the
oh,
right
like the
word.
transition. Yeah.
Transition, that's the
Yeah.
word, that's it. Yeah.
It's quite hard though. See when you have a story or like a game that is so like widely beloved and received
Hmm.
well, and then all of a sudden someone's just like, oh, yeah, we're gonna make a sequel to it, and you're like, oh, I hope it doesn't go bad.
Yeah.
It's like, please,
Yep.
please don't be bad. It's like a danger, not a dangerous, that's probably too dramatic, but it's like it's quite, you're kind of on a knife's edge, aren't you? Like, you want to create
Hmm.
something that's gonna either be the same or exceed the sequel, or,
Yeah.
because, I mean, the worst thing is definitely if the game, and I think I've said this before in other episodes, but it's like, if a game is kind of mediocre, then that's like
Hmm.
the worst thing. Like, you can't even
Yeah.
moan about it being like bad or good, it's kind of
Yeah.
just middle, which I hate. See, when you get a game like that, and you're just like, I can't even make a funny tweet about this. I can't even. It's like
Yeah.
I can't even
It
moan
was
to my friends.
okay, but it wasn't
Yeah.
bad. It was, ugh, I hate it, but I love it.
Oh, it's the paradox, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I totally agree, like totally.
Out of curiosity, you streamed that, didn't you? The
Um,
Last of Us 2.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, I did. I streamed 1 and then I streamed 2 after.
I really need to
Um,
replay the first one, I have to say.
I really enjoyed the
Hmm.
experience. Like don't get me wrong, 2 is very good.
Hmm.
And I did enjoy it, just, like it wasn't the same feeling as 1, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like I said, it was kind of like its own game in a way, if that makes sense. Like, sorry, I'm so bad with words, but
Yeah. No, I totally get you. Like, one of my friends, I think he got it a while ago. Can't remember when,
Mhm,
but he got it and he was saying that he just had to keep taking breaks in between because it was
mm,
just so intense. And I
mhm,
have to admit, I haven't played it, but I've seen, like, the cutscenes and everything and, like, what
mhm.
goes on in it. And it just seems like such a heavy game.
Yeah,
Like,
it
so
is.
much
I
keeps.
mean,
Oh,
I I cried my eyes out quite a few times, to be honest, not gonna lie.
yeah.
And I like had to take breaks because I was like, I just couldn't stop crying.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, I'm screaming. Why is this happening to me?
Oh.
Or like I would get frustrated and I was just like, ugh. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
But it's good though. I definitely tell people to, definitely check it out. Like I'm kind of excited to see what they do with the is it a series they're making or is it a film? I can't remember.
That is actually a good question because that seems to be the thing now with like video games, isn't it? They usually just
Yeah,
get picked up by Netflix, and it's like, yeah, we'll
yeah,
make a series out of this. Why not? I kind of hope it's a series, but I don't know. Initially, they said it was a film,
yeah.
but
I can't
I
remember
can't
for
even
the life
remember
of
either
me.
because I don't know if they're going to go the same way as The Witcher,
Mm,
and just do it like that, which wouldn't be the worst for The Last of Us. Like I feel as
no.
if it's like such a, I wouldn't say bloated because that's the wrong word, but it's like such a big game that
Yeah, a lot happens. Yeah,
yeah, that if it was a series, you could kind of take your time with it compared to something
yeah,
like, yeah, film where it's like, okay, here's Joel, here's Ellie, go, 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 go.
yep,
Oh, here's the
yep, yep.
Fireflies, go, go. It would
Yeah, totally.
probably, it would be rushed and something would go wrong if it was a film because it's a video game film.
Yeah,
There's always the curse there of
yeah,
something
that's
going.
true. Like, I can't even think of the last video game film that they
Eh,
even done. Oh my God.
was it not Sonic or something that was like the last one that
Yes.
came out?
I haven't seen it myself.
Yeah, I have to admit, I remember it not being overly
As bad.
bad. It was all right. Like I enjoyed it for what it was. Like it was
Yeah.
more of a. It was like if I. Oh God, no, I can't say that. I was going to say if Alvin and the Chipmunks did it right instead of wrong. But, it was like the whole fish out of water story.
Yeah.
Sonic goes to the real world and
Ah, okay,
etc.
right.
Which is all right, as I said, for what it is.
Yeah.
It's a good enough film. Detective
Yeah.
Pikachu as well, although that was like a couple of years as well before.
Yeah.
That was good, but
Yeah, I
all
quite enjoyed that.
I mean, the last like video game film I remember watching was actually from one of these Satsunami episodes, and it was Alone in the Dark. Yeah, it was a thing. It was a film.
Is that a horror?
Yeah, I mean, everything
Wow.
about it's a horror. From its
Hang on,
directing.
I'm actually going to quickly look that up,
Oh no,
sorry.
go for it. It's like
Because
one
I'm
percent.
thinking,
Yeah, it's
I
1% in
definitely remember.
IMDb, I think.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's why we decided to watch it. We're like, how bad can this really be? And don't get me wrong, it's like, it's not that this shows how much of like a weirdo I am in terms of films, but it's not the worst film I've ever seen.
Oh, right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I remember that now.
Yeah, I think it was Uwe Boll that directs it. I'm saying that like pretending it doesn't exist. I'm like, yeah, I think it's Uwe Boll, like that guy who scarred like video game cinema for a while. But yeah, it was a film. It's free on Amazon Prime, and you would think like, oh, is Chatsunami sponsored by Uwe Boll? No, he's not. He's not. And I'll take that as slander for anybody who says it. Oh, I mean, it's an interesting experience. That's all I'll say of that film.
Yeah. Like, not being funny, but I don't like I know I've watched it, but I don't remember it, and that says something.
Yeah. I mean,
It sounds like it might be one of them films that you like to forget.
I watched it a couple of weeks ago, and I don't even remember it. I'm just kind of like, yeah, it was a thing. It was a film. Yeah, it is there. Thank God it's not like a Netflix series or anything, but like, give it time. I mean,
Yeah.
someone will give like Netflix money to it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I'm laughing at this thinking that'll never happen, and then I'm like, yeah, it's probably gonna happen. That's the way of
Just
the
you
world.
wait.
No, just you.
Well,
Uh,
I think I saw a article today that
mhm,
someone shared on Instagram,
mhm.
and apparently they're thinking of making a Dishonored Netflix or making a Dishonored series. And I was like, I like how I do kind of like the idea that they're making these games into
Mhm.
things, but at the
Yeah,
same time, people who don't play games, do they really know what any of it is? You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Mhm.
If that makes sense. And then
Mhm.
the people that play the games, like at the same time, they'd probably rather just play the games, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
It's like it's kind of a weird one. It's like you probably would watch it because you're interested to see what they have done with it.
Yeah.
Like, is it like the game? Like, how much inspiration have they taken from the games? And you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But at the same time, you're like, oh, are they gonna ruin it?
Yeah. Because actually, funny enough, that was something that we spoke about. I think it was maybe a month ago, where we talked about like the basically just about video game films and like how they've
Hmm.
kind of impacted very bad, probably
Yeah.
impacted as well as that same meteor that impacted the Earth about 1 million years ago. Um, you know, like a bit of a big crash, but some people find it endearing. Some
Yeah.
but I think we said something similar as well. It's just like the idea that, you want to try and create something. Like, you can't create something for everyone. You're either going to
Hmm.
create something like for the fans, or you're
Yeah.
going to create something for a general audience. It's like you
Yeah.
can't,
Yeah.
like, get both up.
Yeah.
Like,
That's it.
you can have like Easter eggs and things, because I know Detective Pikachu is probably the closest I've seen, where it's got
Hmm.
something for the
Yeah.
fans, and it's kind of, like, it's probably leaning towards the fans more, but it's still kind of universal enough.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Like,
it's
yeah, I feel like they definitely did a good job with that, if you know what I mean.
yeah. But it's really hard to get that balance, because I feel as if
Hmm.
like most of the time they just try to get a general audience, to which they like cut out plot points, they cut out characters.
Mm.
And I mean, look at the Super Mario Brothers film, which is something I've ranted about. That was an interesting one. And I know, like, because that was like kind of one of the first of its kind,
Yeah.
you can give it a bit of slack, but
Yeah.
yeah,
No.
yeah, no, that
Yeah.
was
No.
that was definitely like a general audiences with Mario involved film.
Yeah.
All I
Like,
can,
we'll just stick the name on it and,
oh yeah.
people will be like, oh, Mario, let's watch it. And no.
Yeah, because I mean, when I'm watching a Super Mario Brothers film, what I want, I don't want Bowser, I don't want the Mushroom Kingdom. What I want is a highly detailed, jargon-filled film about the intricacies of plumbing. That's all I
Yep.
want, and all these like rivalries between other plumbers and things. That's what I want. I don't want this fantastical nonsense. It's like, give me the plumbing. Why? Do it, Nintendo, you coward. Oh no, wait, you did. And it was wonderful. Oh dear.
Yeah, no, I totally agree though. It's like, it's kind of like muddy water sort of thing. You
Yeah,
gotta be, it's kind of a dodgy situation sort of thing.
yeah.
It's either gonna come out good or it's just gonna be a complete flop, if you know what I mean. Like I do feel like they did. I mean, I haven't watched the Witcher series, but it does seem to have done really well. I haven't watched it myself. I actually haven't played any new Witcher games either, but I know quite a few of my friends really enjoyed it. I mean, I think me and my boyfriend tried to watch it not long ago, and I was like, yeah, this is all right, and he was just like, nah.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Oh.
he was just like not interested whatsoever. And I was just like, I was kind of getting into it, but like for someone who's not played any of the games in that, I thought it was, quite cool and things. Like so far, I would have liked to have carried on watching it, but I probably will at some point without him.
Yeah. I mean, it is an alright series. Like, I remember my friend, like, this was pre-COVID days, but my friend, like, it came over one time and he was like, oh, The Witcher's out today, will we watch, like, a couple of episodes? I was like, yeah, sure. And we really had nothing better to do, so we just binged the whole series that day. And, yeah, it's, like, I'm in a similar boat. I actually got The Witcher 3 with like my Xbox, and oh my god, yeah, like I played it, loved the beginning of it, didn't finish it. I got to like maybe the second or third area, I think, and then I was just like, yeah, no, like, you know that way where things like kind of come up and you're like, yeah, I'll come back to The Witcher one day, and you know, it's like The Witcher now is like standing at the window with like a towel over his head, like saying, when will my gamer come back from war? It's like, yes, I'm sorry, Witcher 3. I'll come back, I promise.
Yeah.
But it's like, I remember going back to it, and I don't know if you've had this problem before, but it's like, you know when you have a huge game like Skyrim or The Witcher or things like that, and you go away for a while, and then you come back and you're just like, I have no idea how any of this works. I have no idea what's going on. Is that a bear?
Yeah.
And then, 2 seconds later, you're absolutely floored by a bear and you're like, yeah, I don't want to play this anymore.
Yep. No, I totally agree with you. Like, I can't even think of the game, but yeah, I've been there, and it's like, like you tried to give it another go, and then it's just like your heart's not in it. Like, you try to get into it, and then it's just like, no, I remember why I don't like this.
Oh, that is the worst, though, isn't it? See, when you think to yourself, like, oh, why did I stop playing this game? And then you actually play it and you're like, I know. Oh, yeah, I know why. Or even worse, like, something I used to do when I started, like, streaming was I used to play games from my childhood, and normally most of them, like the Sonic Adventure series, Call of Duty, things like that, they hold up relatively well. Games like Simpsons Hit and Run do not. I think by far I had one of my like most defeated moments with that game, where like I nearly finished the game and I was out by 1 second from like completing it, and it's you know that way you go back to, it's like, why have we not got a game, you know, or a remake or a re-release of it? And I'm sitting there thinking, I know exactly why, because it's bull. It's bull. You do the timers, and it's an alright game. Like, it's a good game, but just some things like, oh, have you ever had that with any like games that you've gone back to like revisit?
Yeah, I was watching a friend play an old game. It was actually oh my god, Need for Speed. I can't remember which one it is, but it was one of them, and it was like, you know, the graphics. It's just like, wow. You know, at the time when you watched it, you thought it was amazing, and you thought it just looked so good in that, and then you watch it now and you're just like, it looks like a potato.
Oh,
like, why, how and why have I gone from like enjoying something like that to not even liking it anymore? Like, just it's still a great game, but it's just looking at it, you're like, oh, nah. It's just, it kind of like, I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of ruins it in a way, because you know, you have this good image in your head of what you remember it like, and then you're like watching it and you're like, oh, I don't remember it looking this bad.
Oh, I had exactly the same. I think it was, did you ever play a game called GoldenEye Rogue Agent?
No, but I have heard of it.
Oh my god, I had like an awful experience revisiting that. Like, so basically, it was a game I think I got it for the GameCube back in the day, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I loved playing it and everything. And although some of the stuff was a bit cheap, it was like, okay, this is a pretty fun game. Flash forward a couple of years later, I'm at university, and one of my friends comes up to visit, and we were in this like used DVD shop, and then I saw it for like, I think it was 50p or a pound, like really cheap, and I was like, oh my god, look, it's that game. And I was trying to explain to him, oh, this is such a great game, I loved playing this, you know. So it was like, oh right, okay, let's get it. So we got it, we ran, you know, well, we didn't run, you know. I'm pretending, run home for dinner time, you know. I was like, nah, we didn't run, I'm not that athletic. We walked at a brisk pace to the bus. And then we started playing it. Like I put it in into the PlayStation. We started playing it, and honestly, it was that moment where I just thought, which pixels James Bond? Because the graphics were, and I don't know if it was the TV or the connection or what it was, but the graphics were horrific. Like I looked at it thinking, wow, I do not remember this looking as bad as it did. And oh, it was grim. It's like having to accept that the game you used to love growing up, you're just like, yeah, this isn't.
Yeah,
This
I
ain't
don't
it.
have the same feelings now.
Yeah. I no longer wish to associate myself with you. Please leave. It's like, please go. Oh,
Oh man.
dear. But yeah, kind of like, speaking of like traumatic memories, I've got to ask, like, we kind of touched on it briefly there about like streaming, well, both
Mhm.
like old and new games. And I've got to
Yeah.
ask, like, what actually got you into streaming? Because I know like a lot of people, like back in 2020, and this is something I was actually thinking of earlier, because it's like,
Mhm.
in the future, if anybody listens to this, they'll think, oh wow, back in the days when there was lockdowns and things.
Yeah.
But that seemed to be like the general reason that a lot of people started. I was
Yeah.
just wondering, was that the same for you, or?
No, to be honest, before I got into streaming properly, I kind of gave it a little go before,
Mhm.
and I got a job as a carer. So I kind of like forgot about it because I didn't really have time for it anymore. But at the time, I was watching streamers. Like I've always enjoyed watching other people play games, more so than me playing games. It's really weird. I just really enjoy it. I don't know why. I think it's grown up watching my brother play games, and
Yeah.
then
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's just come from that. And like I got into gaming because my uncle, like, we played Need for Speed and I think God of War as well, like back in the day, like the
Oh
old
yeah.
God of War. And yeah, like I've always been into gaming and stuff. And then I heard about like people streaming and I was like, oh, cool. And then I was watching a streamer called Reanimator. I can't remember if that's just her name or I know that's like part of her name at least. And she does mostly like horror stuff. And she's like really cool. She's still about. And I remember watching her and just like the community and that she had and how like supportive and that people were towards her and just over playing a game and things, like
Mhm.
I was like, oh, it's really cool, like I wonder if people would be that supportive towards me if I just played a game, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said, I had a job and kind of forgot about it. And then just before lockdown, I got really ill again, so I couldn't work anymore. And then I was like, I could give streaming another go, I wasn't really in it for like the numbers and things or anything like that. I was just in it to, or still am in it for, possibly making someone laugh or smile, maybe bringing some entertainment to their day or night,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Mhm.
And yeah, just really stemmed from that. I'm trying to think of another streamer that I used to watch as well. But I'd say like you, my friend Louis Chan, and Plum Butts, and Prime, he and all them, you all guys like keep me going and like
Mhm.
I like watch your streams and I'm like, yeah, like, this is why I'm doing it and give me inspiration and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm so bad with words.
No, you're fine. No, thank you first of all, but yeah, no, you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say that's basically it. Yeah.
I mean, it's a good aim to have, definitely. And I do think you do it very well because, as I said
Thank you.
before, and I always say this, like, I'm not just saying it because you're on, and genuinely, I'm not just saying it because you're
Yeah.
here, but genuinely, like, every time I've popped in, your streams are always, like, really great, really friendly,
Mhm.
It's like, it's a really good atmosphere to be in
Thank you.
because like not often because usually I don't stay in streams where it's like if
Mhm.
you go in and it's like 1,000 messages a second that are
Yeah.
flashing by or things like that, or you go into a place and it's just you think, oh, maybe this isn't. But
Yeah.
like there have been a lot of streamers like where you go in and you think, oh, this it's like, oh, this isn't too bad. I'll just stay here for a while. But like
Yeah.
especially with your streams as well, like I've always felt like quite it feels like a comfortable environment,
Yeah.
like where you can
Yeah.
just like chill, talk to other people, enjoy the
Mhm.
gameplay and things, enjoy the chat. And no, I do think you do it really well. So yeah,
Cool.
props for that.
Well, I feel exactly the same towards you,
Oh,
so
thank you.
thank you. But thank you very much, because that's all I want. I want like, yeah, it's cool, getting followers and things and people subbing and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I like I said, I just want people to come into my streams and feel comfy and just like you said, you can just chill out and like I said, possibly have a laugh with me and or just watch and chill out.
And would you say that's probably the most important part of being like a Twitch streamer as a whole? Like creating
Um,
that kind of welcoming environment?
I'd like to say so, yeah, because I feel like people need to feel welcome, or else, they're probably not gonna stick around, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I know like people are always there's always gonna be some that don't always stick around, and you know what I mean. But if you can make people not feel at home, but you know what I mean, comfortable, and there's at the same time there's feeling comfortable and there's feeling comfortable,
Yeah.
you kind of need to respect that person at the same time, like if you were going around to someone's house, you feel comfortable, but don't take the piss, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know, that I feel like that's the kind of thing that you need to have with your viewers. Like, people know that they can come in and chill out and stuff, but at the same time, don't take the piss. Like, just because, like, some people can be quite cheeky, or some of the stuff that people can talk about, can be a bit too much, and it's just like, maybe not speak about that here, if you
Yeah.
get me.
No, I get what you mean. It's like having to draw that, I suppose, like that line between
Mhm.
like that kind of line of boundaries, not. And I think that's a perfect analogy, by the way, of like inviting someone into your house, where it's like
Yeah,
it's like you expect to be hospitable, to entertain
yeah,
them. Tea may be provided, you never know.
yeah. If
But
you're lucky.
yeah, but like if you get people who are, like overstepping, or it's like a cold
Mhm.
collar almost,
Yeah,
where it's like
yeah,
they'll come in and say, like, have you ever had that where it's like someone comes in and advertises like themselves
yeah,
onto your stream? Really?
yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And it's like, I've been very nice about it, and like, you shouldn't really do that. Like, I don't mind friends doing it, if you know what I mean. I don't mind too much about friends doing it. But people that you don't really know, I kind of find it a bit cheeky, because I feel like I don't mind helping other people out. Like, that's another thing that I love to do. If I can help someone in any way, I can always, if I can always do that, I always will. Like, whenever, like, in my streams, like, if new streamers do come in and stuff, or small streamers, obviously, because I don't have much big streamers other than you. Well, I see you as a big streamer, but you know what I mean.
Oh, I don't see myself as a big one, but thank you. Sorry.
Well, I do, but
Oh, thank
anyway,
you. No, thank you. Sorry. But yeah, sorry. Go on.
I like to say to them, well, anyone, I'm like, you can always promote yourself and stuff, and like always having my streams as well. Like, if you stream, let me know, and we can help promote you in the stream and stuff. Like, I don't mind doing that, but people coming in and being like, I'm about to stream or something, you're just like,
Yeah.
you could go the polite way about it, not. I just feel like it's really cheeky.
I actually had something like that where this was ages ago. This is back when I used to play a ungodly amount of Fall Guys, which you can tell how much that dates that comment. But yeah, I used to play like just like casually and everything. And well, you can't really play it competitively, I suppose.
Yeah.
But oh god, can you imagine the esports like thing for that? That would be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, anyway, enough about like the Sterling jelly beans or something like that. But anyway, sorry, tangent. See what I mean? Tangents.
Tangent master.
Yeah. Oh god. I'll get to the end of this story eventually, I swear. But yeah. So I remember playing that one time, and there was a. In all honesty, I think it was like someone who was significantly younger, but they kept like putting in the link to one of their YouTube videos, and they were saying things like, "Oh, can you review this on stream?" and things. And obviously, I wasn't going to do it because I didn't know who the person was.
Yeah.
I mean that, and like I'm very wary about like playing with strangers online or play or
Yeah.
not like see off stream. That's different. Like if somebody
Yeah.
says or does something like horrible, then you just kind
Yeah.
of move on, report, whatever.
Yeah.
But if they're on stream, like especially for games like Among Us, I am
Yeah.
absolutely terrified of playing games like that where, you're giving power to like strangers who are just gonna, because I've had a lot of people, like if you ever,
sabotage,
oh yeah,
your stream and your Twitch, basically. Yeah.
yeah, because at the end of the day, like you're the one that gets held accountable for that. Like
Yep.
I've heard people like use like racist slurs and things in their names, or just usually just to be as offensive as possible. And
Yeah.
then, because it was featured on your channel, that's
Yeah, you
it.
get
Like,
into the shit for it, basically. Yeah.
and it's like it's not something you want to promote on your, like, for obvious reasons, but it's
No.
like it's not like that kind of environment as well, because I mean, like I think you and I are probably on the same level on that, like that we want to try and create a place that's very, welcoming and quite relaxed, and you want people to come in and feel safe and have a good time. You don't want someone to come in and start I feel like an old man saying this, like comes in, starts causing trouble, and you have to shake a fist at them, Get out my garden.
Get out of here.
Kid, come on, kid. But God, it's trying to just like minimize that.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. If I ever play with other streamers, like if I played with you or any of the other streamers, like I've interacted with, I know what I'm expecting. I know that you're going to be awesome people. You're going to be like great. Like interacting and everything. So it's like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like. Well, I don't know about that Last of Us 2 comment. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. So yeah, that's the end of chats on that. No, I'm joking. But yeah, it is a worry though.
Yeah.
At least for
No, I
that.
totally agree.
But I know what you mean about like the self-promotion and trying to. I mean, it is a good feel, and I don't want to be like, oh, it's a good feeling, helping like other streamers. Because as I said, like first of all, really thank you for saying I'm a big streamer, but like I still feel as if I'm like starting out sometimes, because I'm just like I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't think even the big streamers, like the ones who are like on Twitch every day, like I don't think they are 90% of the time. I've seen some of their streams. I was just like, props on you for going on, but it is a good feeling when you're able to like return the support and things, because it is. It's like we're all kind of, and again, this is going to sound like a cheesy, like I like to say Channel 5 moment, but for any Americans listening, it's a Hallmark moment. I just want to make it clear. It's like that cheesy moment of, it's like you want to help one another because we're all kind of going through the same like journey and everything. And
I feel like you know how hard it can be at times when it comes to streaming and that. Like like I've said to people, anyone can stream. Anyone can stream.
Yeah.
But if you want to be a streamer, that's different,
Yeah.
You do have to put the work in to be a streamer. And I don't think a lot of people realize that. Like it does kind of, well, for me, it has taken over my life a little bit. Like social media and things, if you want to have the viewers and things, you do have to put the work in and, get them viewers and things, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't just, well, it does just happen overnight for some people. Some people can be very lucky, but I feel like Yeah. Sorry, I had a bit of a brain fart there
Yeah.
for a minute.
No, I do get what you mean though. It's like, and I think I've said this before in Satsunami, but it's like, it's something I feel as if a lot of people underestimate with
Hmm.
streaming. Like, a
Yeah.
lot of people, and I have to admit, I was guilty of it initially before I knew what Twitch was, but everybody seems to have, oh, not everybody, sorry, I'm straw manning here, but like, a lot of people seem to have this notion that all Twitch is you turn on a camera,
Hmm.
you play a video game, you get 100 million views, you know,
Yeah.
and people throw money at you, and suddenly you're famous overnight, and
Yes.
and people shake their fist saying, "Oh, it's not an honest way," like all of that.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though. There is so much. Like, don't get me wrong, you can do that, and by God, I've
Hmm.
seen a lot of streamers actually do that,
Yep.
which is like, you'll go into people's streams. Like, there have been one or two times I've gone into people's streams trying to, like, be supportive and things, and
Hmm.
either they don't respond, or because I have seen that before. I don't know if you've had this, like, with raiding other
Yeah.
streamers, where it's like
Yeah.
you've raided someone and they don't acknowledge you
Yeah.
or say anything, which I have to admit, like, before I bash them, like, I've been guilty of that once, and that was the first
Hmm.
time I was streaming.
Yeah.
But, like, I eventually acknowledged them, but I genuinely thought I was being trolled at the time. Like,
Yeah.
because all these, like, random people came in, and this is, like, at the time where it was, like, a small circle of people coming into my streams, and all these people were
Yeah.
like, "Hey, how's the game? Oh, look, he's not even paying attention to us." And I was like, you don't know what you expect from me.
Are you real?
Yeah, and I was like, "What is raiding and everything?" And turns out, obviously, most of the time it is like a positive thing. But you're like,
Yeah.
I,
Yeah.
"Oh God,
No,
yeah,
yeah,
uh huh,
I totally get you there. But yeah,
mm-hmm.
for the people that do know
Mm-hmm.
what it is though, and then
Mm-hmm.
you've raided them and they don't say anything, I do find it quite, I can't think of the word.
Root."
Yes. And
Yeah.
kind of a little bit, disrespectful in a way. Like, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if that's maybe a bit too strong, but like, if they're trying to be a streamer and things and they want people to come in and
Mm-hmm.
be in their streams and things, they should at least say thank you,
Mm-hmm.
like, I know we're doing a job at the same time, but these people are taking time out of their own time to come and watch you, or what I mean, like, I know it sounds horrible, but they could raid anyone, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they chose you. At least say thank you, you don't have to be like, oh, king, I praise you, you know what I mean? But it's just,
Oh no, I expect some form of confetti when I raid someone.
yeah.
I'm just like, where's the confetti? Come on, come on.
Where's the monkeys?
Yeah. For legal
Where's the
reasons,
parade?
that's a joke. Just want to point out, in case somebody in the future takes that out of context, saying, "Oh, look, he wants confetti." It's like, well, yes, but actually, no. Oh, but yeah, no, I do agree. It's like some kind of acknowledgement, even if it's
Yeah,
just "Oh, thanks," and then they get back onto the game.
yeah.
Because I can understand if it's like a challenge run, or
Hmm.
something that requires their attention,
Yeah.
you don't expect them to. Like, you don't
No, yeah.
expect them to actually,
Stop the
yeah,
stream
stop
and
everything, yeah.
yeah.
Whereas, yeah, when someone doesn't acknowledge you, like, I remember, I think the worst experience I ever had was when I raided someone playing Deadly Premonition, and
Okay.
they did not, I can't even remember. It wasn't like a big number of people I was raiding with, but that doesn't matter. Like, it was
Yeah.
still like us coming in to say hey, to support,
Yeah.
and yeah, they just did not, like, say anything to us, and they were laughing with their friends, clearly reading the other chat, but not us
Yeah.
saying we're here. It was like,
Yeah.
yeah, which, yeah, pains in the butts, essentially.
Like, yeah, like I understand, like you were saying, if
Hmm.
someone's in in between in a game and
Yeah.
they can't check chat or something, or and
Hmm.
they can't stop, like I totally understand that. But at least when you get to a point where you can stop and check, just a little thank you or acknowledge that there's
Hmm.
people there.
Oh, yeah.
You need some sort of, like, even if it's like people who came in with the raid and they're
Hmm.
not speaking, but
Yeah.
they're there from the view count, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Hmm.
You can at least just say thank you. I don't mind lurkers at all. Like, they're lurking, they're still there, you know what I mean? Like, that's like, sorry for I'm being a tangent now.
No, no, go
That's
for it.
another thing. Like, I saw someone had a tweet not long ago, and they were like, if I come into your stream, don't even like shout me out or anything if I don't speak in the chat,
Hmm.
even if you know I'm there. And it's like, I kind of get it, but at the same time, it's like maybe we just want to thank you.
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
getting my words
No,
muddled up. But you get what I'm saying.
oh no, absolutely. I think there is a difference. Like, it's kind of an unwritten rule of like Twitch etiquette, I think. But it's like
Mhm.
there's a big difference between like if you see somebody lurking, like
Mhm.
on like the dashboard list,
Yeah.
and there's a difference between like combing through that and being like TCake95, oh, you haven't
Yeah.
talked to
Yeah.
that bloody TCake95 always lurking.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I don't know who TK95 is, but I'm sure they're lovely. But it's like, oh, you haven't been talking. I hope you're okay. Like that
Yeah.
is a bit of a step too far. But if it's
Yeah.
someone who has openly came in,
Mhm.
and said, or like is saying like, oh, I'm lurking or that, and you say like, oh, no problem, that's fine. Like, I didn't
Yeah.
realise though there was like a big thing against
Yeah.
lurkers
Like,
and things. It
yeah,
seems
I didn't
baffling.
realize either.
Yeah, it seems baffling. It's like, why would you not want people to chill out in your streams?
Yeah. At least they're still there. Like, I know they're lurking, but they're obviously there for a reason.
Yeah.
Like,
Hmm. Yeah.
if they weren't enjoying it, then they wouldn't be lurking.
Hmm. I think I've
Yeah.
only, yeah, I think I've only had one bad experience of that. Like, I'm obviously not naming names, but there was one where, like, I went into a stream and I said I was lurking, and
Mhm.
then they went off on me, like, saying, oh, you're always lurking, da da da, like, really thingy. And then at the end of this rant, they kind of laughed it off and went, ah, oh no, it's fine. And I was like, well, well, I
Clearly
don't.
it's
I d-
not.
yeah, like I genuinely, I was like, wow, I don't know how to take that. I
Yeah.
was like, is it supposed to be good? Is it supposed to be
Yeah.
bad?
Are you joking or have you lost it?
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, I'm gonna go now.
Yeah. I'm
see,
not
like,
even gonna work.
yeah, because it's like, why would you? Oh, just why would you say something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, but
Yeah, because that is like definitely gonna get rid of that viewer.
yeah, it's like if someone comes in and says, "Oh, I'm lurking," or "Oh, I'm in the background," like especially for these Satsunami episodes, I get a lot of people like just
Mhm.
lurking, and that is
Yeah,
perfectly
just right
fine
here.
because I don't
Mhm.
expect them to like stare at the screen for like
Yeah.
for the full thing and be like, "Wow," like. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate it if you do. Like, that wasn't a call out. That's just that is appreciation. Thank
We
you.
see you.
Yeah, we see you in this list. Tea Cake 95, I see. But yeah, jokes aside, like, yeah, I honestly appreciate it. I think if someone wants to take the time to say, right, this is how I'm going to spend my night, I'm gonna
Mhm.
like, sit down, listen to this person in the background or have it on in the
Yeah.
background. That is awesome.
Yeah.
And it mean, you feel quite nice that people are choosing, to come to
Yeah.
your stream and be like, yeah, come in, sit
Yeah. Like,
down, chill.
I feel honored. I'm like,
Hmm.
thank you.
Hmm.
You've you've chose me.
Yeah.
I'm the chosen one.
You could have chose anyone, but you chose me. Thank you. And that's usually 9 times out of 10 when I mess up in the game. And I'm like, yeah. Because I think I don't think that happened the other night where it was like, or not the other night, but a couple of weeks ago I was playing Sonic Heroes and
Mhm.
I was getting like to the end of the game and it was like the hardest bit of the game.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and like I got raided and everything. I was like, oh, it's like. In fact, I think you raided me that night as well. Did you?
Yes,
Yeah, it
yes.
was. It was you first. Yeah, and then oddly enough, it was another Scottish streamer. It was like the Tartan Army coming into the stream. Yeah, it was that worry of, oh yeah, I'm nearly finished the game, and then about like half an hour to an hour later, I'm like, okay, I am so sorry, but I have just finished. It's like,
That's like another thing, like you just reminded me of, sorry.
no, no, go
Like,
for it.
like if someone raids you and you're just about to finish streaming
Oh yeah.
and you're like, oh, I better do a bit more. But at the same time, you're like, I know what end. It's hard, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because it's like, how much longer do you go on though?
That is
Do you
true.
go on
Yeah.
for another 30 minutes, hour? It's like, you want to appreciate the people that do come in, but at the same time, you're like, crap.
I mean, I remember I raided someone once, and they were raiding someone at exactly the same time. I was a really bizarre thing because I raided them. We all got taken to like a static screen, and then it jumped us to another person. I was like,
An
what?
inception of
Yeah.
raiding.
Yeah. Oh, just the raidception that went on, honestly. I was just like, go from one to the other. It was like, oh my God. Never happened again, fortunately. But it's like, and I think they said
Um,
in the next like stream they were just like, yeah, sorry about that. I was like, oh no, don't be sorry,
yeah.
but my God, it's like, how did that happen? But yeah, like on that note, I don't want to say closing muses, but you know what I mean. As I sit here, pondering, yelling at children to get off my lawn and so forth. What tips would you give though? Like, see for anyone who wants to get into streaming, because that's what I was saying earlier before I got horribly, horribly sidetracked there. Um, but like a lot of people seem to think that streaming's like a very easy thing, that
Mhm.
as I said, you switch on the camera, you can just
Yeah,
play a game, you get like loads of views and money. But when
yeah,
you actually get into streaming, it's like a lot harder,
yeah,
to like, as you were saying before with the social media, I totally get it. Like my life
yeah,
has been consumed now with like
yeah,
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok as
yeah.
well. My God, TikTok is a nightmare. Have you made the venture into that
No,
dark world? Oh God,
don't talk about it. No, I'm
yes,
joking. Um, I'm trying my hardest not to.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's like I feel like I'm too old for TikTok. And I'm not even that old, but you know what I mean?
Oh
Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
I feel like it's for like teeny boppers
Yeah,
and not for like, I don't know, for my age at least.
I mean, I
I,
have.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's
Like, no, I totally agree because I'm in the same boat where I'm like you're flicking through and it's like all of these like people doing silly dances and it was like, wow, that
yes,
got 2.4 million likes, and it's like, how I do not understand the youth of today. I've never felt more old in my life. I'm like, how
yes.
how is this and usually I'm not one of those people to be like, oh, why has that got so many views, but I'm like, how?
I
It's like,
know, yeah. I
oh.
can't even remember one video that I saw as well, and I was just like you were saying, like how, like they're only I can't even remember what it was, but it was something like so normal, like anyone, like everyone does it, but why does it get
Yeah,
so many views? Like what the fuck?
I mean, I think the weirdest one I ever saw, like, there's a lot of like TikTok trends and things, and don't get
Mm,
me wrong, like, obviously because I don't show my face, I don't like
yeah,
put like dances or anything. Although I've always been
yes,
tempted to technically say, "Oh, go." I feel like it'd be false advertising, but to be like, "Oh, if you want to see my face, you can see
yeah.
TikTok," and it's like, yeah, no, you're not going to see it there. You could, but
Get people into the video and
yeah,
then you're not even your face.
exactly.
Haha.
4D chess, But oh yeah, I just put like clips from whether it be like the Heavy Rain playthrough, whether it be from streaming or whatever, or just like funny ones. I even put a still
Yeah.
game one up And I think I'll need to repost that
Yes.
because I don't think it got as much love as I wanted it to.
And I loved it as well. It was
Oh, it's so
brilliant.
good. Yeah. Like,
Like I was saying before, like I
mhm,
loved Still Game,
mhm,
and like I actually showed my boyfriend it earlier.
mhm,
I remember showing it to
mhm.
him before, and it was like, when I made the post, I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, like I had a quick look on, and I was like, oh yeah, that brilliant post that you made. Fuck off, you spooky
Okay,
bitch.
bitch. I mean, it's apt for Phasmo. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, but yeah.
Um,
Oh god, it's a dark and deep rabbit hole. TikTok is definitely. So I can see why you would want to stay away from.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I have
Mhm,
thought about it, but
mhm.
I don't know. I don't think I will. I mean,
Yeah.
if I did, I'd probably wait until I had like the proper equipment, because at
Yeah.
the moment I just have my phone, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Mhm,
Whereas like if I had a PC, I could like, make the videos, and I mean
mhm,
I could kind of do that with my phone, but I don't know, I feel like I could put more detail into it with
mhm,
like a PC, if you know what I mean. I think the bit of advice that I give people is to, promote yourself. Promote yourself as much as possible. Not in other people's streams,
yes, true.
but like through social media. I know Instagram is a bit iffy just now, but I'd definitely say make an Instagram and like Twitter and things, and promote yourself as much as possible, because to be honest, most of my viewers actually come from Instagram. They don't even come from Twitch, which is crazy,
Mhm,
because you would think that most of them would come from Twitch, but
mhm,
no, like it makes you realize. Like I've put in work. I've put in work with my Instagram and things,
mhm.
and I could probably put in more, but sorry, I'm going on a tangent again,
No,
aren't
no,
I?
you're fine. As I said, you're amongst friends here.
But yeah, just promote yourself,
Mhm,
and just be yourself. Be
mhm,
yourself. Don't be anyone else, because if you do try to be someone else, you're gonna make yourself tired, because you are gonna have to put on that persona
yeah.
every time you stream, and
Mhm,
you're not going to be able to keep that up. You know what I mean? You're
yeah.
going to end up slipping. So be yourself, and people will stick around for the right reasons because of that. And the people that don't, they're not there for the right reasons, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like you will find though that in the streaming industry,
Yeah.
you could call it, that there is a lot of people that will, kind of use you in a way, sort of thing. Like there's quite a lot of them out there that will follow and then unfollow, sort of thing. But don't let that, get you down and things, because it's just a number, and
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's the people who stick around, or the people that do pop in, that mean more than just numbers. Well, for me at least, I think having a good relationship with a viewer is more than
Mhm.
just a number, sort of thing, if that makes sense.
No, totally. No, because that's the thing, though. It's like, as you said, you do get like a lot of people who, do like the follow for follow thing. And
Hmm.
one of the ones that grinds my gears is see when people say, "Oh, we're going in for the grind and everything," and we're all in this to get, it
Yeah.
just it irks me because it's. I mean, don't get me wrong. Maybe not everybody is like that who follows that mentality, but you do get a
Hmm.
majority of them that are quite, it's that kind of sense of toxic positivity of you gotta
Yeah.
just work for it. And I feel as
Yeah.
if that is very misleading because a lot
Yeah.
of people could like work for it
Hmm.
and put their all in. I mean, I've seen lots of people like put like amazing content out there and get like,
Yeah.
maybe a
Nothing.
handful of views, and then
Yeah.
someone who like films, I don't know, like a slice of toast falling over and they get like
Yeah.
millions of views, and it's
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, it will mostly be randomized,
Hmm.
unless you've got like a following going into it. That's
Yeah.
different. Yeah, I suppose it's that idea of not expecting like instant, like results right away. Because sometimes it will happen and other times it doesn't.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with you in the sense of like building up those, relationships with like
Hmm.
both viewers and other streamers, because
Yes.
like it is quite nice. Like I'm sure you feel the same, when you're like streaming and you see familiar faces pop up
Hmm.
in the chat and things, and it's
Yeah,
amazing.
definitely.
Like whether
Yeah.
it be like just like permanent viewers or other streamers. And I think that's fantastic as well with Twitch, the fact that you can interact with other streamers, you can like get
Yes.
ideas from them and things.
Yep.
Because if you were going up to a streamer and saying, oh yeah, I love your content, by the way, here's my Twitch, it is almost like the equivalent of like, walking in the street and just throwing business cards in people's faces.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, you can. It's like, oh yeah, just read this, and you're like, well, what is this? What would you
Yeah.
expect me to do with it? And then when you actually do check it out, you're like, well, okay, that's a thing, but what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Whereas
Yeah.
if you get to know, people and like build
Mhm.
those like kind of bridges, and like it actually is really interesting, because I have to admit I didn't know what to expect myself going into Twitch,
Mhm.
but it is amazing like how you can get to know so many amazing people
Yeah,
and then get
definitely.
like
Yeah.
ideas, and and by get ideas I don't mean steal ideas.
No.
Like to talk, and everything, and get to know that, it's like,
Yeah.
it's a really cool, like, bonus, I would say,
Yeah.
to be able to get out.
And I feel as well, like when I started thinking about streaming and
Hmm.
getting into streaming as well, like I'd watch a lot of other streamers and like, I'd wait for the right opportunity, or I'd even message them like off stream and be like, sorry, I hope I'm not pestering you, but do you mind if I ask you a
Hmm.
couple of questions about streaming? Can you give me an idea about, what to expect and things like
Hmm.
that? Because like when you do start out streaming, there isn't a lot of help, to be honest. Like
Yeah.
even like if you look up YouTube videos, most of them aren't very helpful either. Like they'll maybe tell you a little bit here and there, but I feel like there's nothing out there that actually says, like I've said,
Hmm.
you should promote yourself and you need to do other stuff like social media other than just Twitch, because Twitch is quite a big place,
Yeah.
and starting out, it is hard. You won't get, unless you're very lucky, you won't get many viewers. And, it takes time, but, it will get there.
Hmm.
And like you said, you'll build up friendships, and you'll end up with your own little community before you know it.
Hmm.
But like I was saying, don't feel disheartened by people unfollowing and things, because a lot of times people do that. I never heard streamer Louis. She was saying like she feels like a lot of the time some people follow just for like the gratification, like they see their name like
Yeah.
come up on screen, like, oh yeah, and then they'll end up unfollowing later because they had that gratification at the time,
Hmm.
and it's old now sort of thing.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I do kind of agree with her in a way. Like I do feel there is some people out there that do that, because they're like, oh yeah, my name's on the screen, or what I mean,
Yeah.
like they feel, I don't know, famous or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know, but like you kind of think of what they might be thinking, but I don't know, but yeah, like I thought like what she said was quite true. Like I bet there is some people out there that do that. But I like another thing, sorry,
No, no.
the whole follow for follow thing, do not do it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work because they always unfollow you.
Yeah.
Like, and you'll be the one who's still following them.
Yeah. I have to admit, some of those posts that you see on Twitter, the some of the posts you see, it's like advertise your stream down here, and
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
suppose ones like that are fine. But if you
Yeah.
find ones that are like, if you follow me, like follow me, I'll follow you,
I'll
because
follow you back.
especially for TikTok has a really bad thing for this as well, with the Twitch side of it, where it's all these videos
Right.
saying, it's like this American saying like, hey, are you a Twitch streamer? Follow me and I'll follow you. And you're like,
Oh God.
If you like the comment, like their comment, and you're like, God, stop, please, because
Please.
because you know the only person benefiting is the one who made the video, and
Yep.
it's exactly the same for like these posts, and that's the thing though, the amount of like, because when I began, like I did do a lot of that, like more not so much the follow, like I did a little
Hmm.
bit, but more
Yeah.
for just putting my name there to advertise and
Yes.
be like to get my
Yep.
name out, because it's really
Yep.
hard like to get
Yeah.
yourself visible on
Hmm.
Twitch and
Yeah.
Twitter and everything. Is very, very hard. At the same time, if you do that, I totally agree, you're not building up real relationships in
No.
that sense. You're just like pressing a button and then you're never
Yeah.
speaking to them, because that happened to me once, where maybe not so much a follow for follow, but I think it was through one of my posts, like where I was thanking people, and I started talking to like this other streamer, and initially they seemed really nice, very friendly, and
Hmm.
then again, like I think they ended up in the Discord, and then yeah, long story short, they were just out for themselves, like spamming the
Mm.
link. This is the
Okay.
thing, because as of, in case anyone doesn't know, yes, we have a Discord, um, and there are like sections for self promotion, and I
Yeah.
absolutely do not 100%. I don't mind people using them,
Yep.
because I love to help other streamers, like
Yeah.
as well, because it's amazing like knowing that people can support
Yeah.
like one another, like whether I'm supporting
Mhm.
them, they're supporting me, that kind of thing. And again, there's no like pressure to do it, because I have seen some stupid posts where it's like, oh, if you're not loyal to my streams or something, and I'm like, what is this, a
Yeah.
cult?
Yeah.
It's like, you're literally playing games on Twitch. It's like, come on, you're not you're
I
not running
know.
for president or something, or prime
I
minister.
know,
It's like,
right?
come on. God, dramatic, you know. But
Yeah.
yeah, but if somebody, like, as you said before, going back to your amazing analogy, if someone comes into your house and then starts taking the piss, by
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, by the way, let me spray paint on your walls and say
Mm.
this is where you can find my house," and it's like,
Yeah.
well, yeah, but you could write it down on a piece of paper, and it's like, no, I'm
Yeah.
gonna write it on your wall, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
gonna
And then put
not.
it on.
But yeah, I do agree. Just watch out for that. Otherwise, yeah,
Because there will be there's always chancers out there, unfortunately.
yeah,
I mean, there is in all aspects of life, but I do
hmm
feel like, especially in streaming,
hmm
people do seem to be that little bit more cheekier.
hmm yeah, oh yeah. I don't know whether it's just like an internet thing, the
Yeah,
anonymity
could
and
be.
things, and oh yeah, let's just chance our luck, and people
Yeah.
think, oh, let's take our shot, and it's like, yeah, you can take your shot, just not in my stream. It's like,
Yep. Exactly.
oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's like bugger off, go away. To end it on a positive note, sorry. It's like,
Yeah.
and one more thing about follow for follow. No, I'm joking. Yeah, just like one last thing.
Mhm.
Are there any like favorite moments you've had for streaming, like
Um,
off the top of your head, or?
yeah, I mean, I've made some really great friends through streaming, and I'm really, really grateful for that. Like, I've had people message me
Mm,
that I didn't even realize, like, that followed me, or
mm,
you know what I mean, or even watched my stream, and they're like, "You are so inspiring. You really make me laugh, or you really make me smile and things." And
mhm.
I'm just like, "What, me?"
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's
yeah,
just it like makes you feel like, I am doing this for a reason, and
mm,
there is people who do enjoy my content,
mhm,
because I'm sure you felt yourself at times, you do feel like, should I keep going,
yeah,
or
mhm. Oh yeah,
the it happens every now and again, you feel like, are people really enjoying my content,
mhm,
and then you get something like that and you're like, oh,
mhm.
thank you.
It makes it worthwhile, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm,
Like, and like, I feel like being able to play games as well, and it's hard to explain. Like, I just hope, like, people, like I said, come in and feel comfortable and have
mhm,
fun and, enjoy themselves. And that's all I really want. And if they, like I've said, I'll always play whatever and things, and at the moment it does seem to be horror, but I do play other games, I swear.
Yeah.
But I'm always up for trying anything, like
Mhm.
I enjoy trying new games, and like I've said before, I enjoy watching others as well. So I'm glad that I got into streaming, because I don't think that I'll ever not stream now, because like I might go through a little break and things, but
Mhm.
like I really enjoy it, and it's nice to have that relationship with people that, they do seem to enjoy what you're doing and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I feel like I've rambled on there.
No, not at all. No, you're fine. It's a good feeling, like knowing that, because I know exactly what you mean. It's that kind of feeling that when you put out content or when you put out things, you kind of think, is it reaching anyone? Is it?
Yeah,
And then when you get, because I mean, I've had that experience before of like, all it takes is like one nice comment for me
yeah,
to just be like, oh my god, it's worth it.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's just
totally.
yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. Even if it's just like one person that
Yeah,
says it, yeah, it's just definitely, it makes it all worthwhile.
yeah,
So I totally get where you're coming from with it.
yeah. Like at least you've made one person happy.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah,
about the others, but that one person's
yeah,
happy, so that's all that matters.
exactly. As long as, yeah, at least the scoreboard's like one.
Yeah, and not zero.
Yeah, at least I can justify writing on the whiteboard just one. Okay, we've got somebody happy. Worth it. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
totally. Definitely.
But yeah, on that note, Katie, thank you so much for like coming on tonight. It's been
Thank
great.
you.
But before we finish up, though,
Mhm.
where can these awesome people who are listening, both at home and in the future, of course, where can they find your content?
Well, my name is the same for everything. It's Kittykatyfaith, and I have obviously Twitch. I have Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. I don't use Facebook as much, but it's still there.
Hmm.
But mostly I'm on Instagram the most, but I do have a Discord as well. But you'll find most of my links on most of my social medias. So yeah, you can check me out if you like. Thank you.
Definitely go check that out because yeah, your content is awesome. And
Thank you.
again, I'm not just saying that. That's the truth. No, seriously, go check it out, guys. Yeah, that's fantastic. And yeah, thank you
Thank
again.
you. Well,
uh,
thank you for having me. Like I said, I feel totally honored that you even asked me. Like, yeah.
oh no, it's honestly been a pleasure. I've been meaning to get back into these for a while, but honestly, like, yeah, I can't imagine anybody nicer, like, to reintroduce, like, Streamer Spotlight.
Thank you.
So yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
And yeah, if you want to see more of, well, if you want to see more of Satsunami, you can check us out on Anchor, Spotify, YouTube, and yeah, all good podcast distributors. Honestly, this list gets longer by the day, so I apologise. And yeah, if you want to see more of the gaming content, you can catch me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, round the corner, and yeah, as well. Funny enough, when this episode comes out, it will come out a day after the finale of my Let's Play series, or the finale of my Let's Play series, which is currently focusing on Heavy Rain, called T-Posing. So yeah, the Heavy Rain finale is coming out next Tuesday. Although, if you're listening to this, like, when this episode comes out, it'll be yesterday. But yeah, we also do other games like GTA, Warzone, Breath of the Wild, we did that. And yeah, there will be shenanigans and or hijinks coming up with a very special David Cage game coming up later on. Oh god, you know what it is, because
Wink, wink, nudge.
yes, because I've been spamming you with things being like, look at what I did. That's a thing. So yeah, feel free to check that out. And yeah, one last time, thank you so much for coming on
Thank
Chat
you.
Tsunami. It's been awesome.
God,
And
it's been great.
As always, everybody, stay safe, stay awesome, and most importantly, stay hydrated. Bye, guys.